Welcome to the City Center podcast from West Palm Beach, Florida. I'm Jerry Marcello. The profile and personality of a city is defined by the people who live there. No matter where a city may be, the unique makeup of that community is shaped and colored by the people who call it home. West Palm Beach has been a community that takes pride in its diversity, welcoming new residents from every background, creed, and culture. The LGBTQ+ community is no exception. For more than 2 decades, West Palm Beach has been at the forefront of LGBTQ+ equality, thanks to the leadership of local government. The road has been long, and the journey is far from over. There's more work to be done. Joining me to talk about it is Melissa Anderson, Senior Assistant City Attorney for the City of West Palm Beach, and the city's LGBTQ+ liaison. Melissa, welcome.
Thank you.
West Palm Beach's relationship to the LGBTQ+ community is a long one. Can you give us some idea of how active the city has been, reaching back nearly 3 decades?
Sure. Just to give you a little perspective, I'm 59 and I came out when I was about 17, and the local governments have always been important in the LGBTQ+ movement, especially in Florida, going back some 30-odd years. And West Palm Beach has always been a part of that movement and has always been very supportive of the LGBTQ+ movement. West Palm Beach is in the category with Miami Beach, Fort Lauderdale, Key West, in the 1970s when the gay community really started to fight for its rights. Down in Miami Beach in particular, the city at that time was fighting for an equal rights ordinance, and that sort of spurred the whole 1970s Anita Bryant movement. And after that movement, local governments in Florida became very much became an advocate for the LGBTQ+ community. And West Palm Beach was one of those cities. And they have been a supporter of LGBTQ+ rights in many, many different ways. In 1992, West Palm Beach became the first employer in Florida to provide domestic partnership benefits. In 1994, West Palm Beach enacted an equal opportunity ordinance prohibiting discrimination based on sexual orientation, and the list goes on. And more recently, in 2023, the mayor announced and recognized Gay Pride Month in June, presented a proclamation to Compass, which is one of our local gay groups based in Lake Worth Beach. And this year, in my role as LGBTQ+ liaison, I'm helping to coordinate Pride on the Block, which will either be in June or October. Mm-hmm. We haven't figured it out yet, but I'm helping to coordinate that with Transpire, which is an LGBTQ+ organization which supports sobriety in the gay community.
Right. So the city has been sort of on the forefront and have been very, very aggressive as far as promoting rights and opportunities for this community.
It has. I think that West Palm Beach has always recognized that the LGBTQ+ community is an important part of the greater West Palm Beach community. The city's always gone out of their way to support the community. They were one of the first communities to fly the pride flag full-time. We have a member of our police department, Lieutenant Emily Wiggs, who is the liaison for the police department to the community. Mm-hmm. Last year, we've always had a more general LGBTQ+ liaison for the city, and last year I took over that role so that I could help the mayor sort through all the various issues that LGBTQ+ folks are facing in Florida today, which are a lot. Yeah. And I was personally very grateful for the opportunity to do that, and I know the community is grateful for local governments like West Palm Beach, where they feel at home and safe and celebrated and valued as people and human beings.
We're here to talk about West Palm Beach, but in a larger scope, how do we measure up? How does the county do? Is the county as far along as West Palm Beach is, or?
I think South Florida in general is a fairly good place for LGBTQ plus folks. West Palm Beach is great. It's not only is it a beautiful place to live. I live here. I work for the city as a senior assistant city attorney, but I also am a resident of West Palm Beach. I own a home in Northwood Hills, which is a burgeoning neighborhood. It's a great old historic neighborhood. And while Palm Beach County has done very well recognizing and protecting my community, I think West Palm Beach really, just by flying the pride flag out there, every day, that means something, especially in the environment that we find ourselves, we being the LGBTQ plus community, we find ourselves in today. It's so important to have politicians like Mayor James at the local level standing up and saying, you're important to us, you matter, and we're going to support you.
Sure. So local government, how important is it really? Is
so important. I mean, in the 1970s, during the beginning of the gay rights movement, again, it was local governments who came to the forefront. It was West Palm Beach, it was Fort Lauderdale, it was Key West, it was Miami Beach, all who initially, each of those municipalities initially, because they had a large and important LGBTQ plus community, wanted to support those communities. And that's really where a lot of the gay rights movement started. And in Florida, certainly it started in South Florida and continues here. And I have never felt discriminated against in Palm Beach County, certainly not in the city of West Palm Beach. And I can tell you that and rarely in South Florida. Although it's been a very stressful time, certainly as a member of the LGBTQ plus community, to be living in Florida and seeing what's happened here to our community.
With some of the adversity that we're seeing at both state and other levels, have you seen any kind of a shift here in West Palm Beach? Is there positive or negative?
I think that the LGBTQ plus community has sort of woken up. We made a lot of big strides in 30 years. I think that we as a city have been very careful to pay attention to new laws which have gone into effect, which has been hard for us to struggle with on many different fronts. But I've also seen West Palm Beach and Palm Beach County and the rest of the cities in South Florida really rally to support the LGBTQ plus community. And that in and of itself, while watching what's happened on a statewide level has been really depressing, it's been encouraging to feel the support of the city of West Palm Beach, of the city commission of West Palm Beach, of the mayor of West Palm Beach, and it's valuable. It's really valuable.
You are the liaison for the city. What does that involve? What can residents do to reach out to you?
Residents can reach out to me on my city, at my city email, which is M as in Melissa, Anderson, so it's Manderson at WPB.org. They can give me a call on my city cell phone, which is 561-310-9261. They can also, if they have police-related questions, they can reach out to Lieutenant Wiggs at the police department. Her email is ewiggs, W-I-G-G-S, at WPB.org. There's so much happening. I'm so excited that one of the things that the city did, I wanted to remember to tell you while I was here today, it was in April 5th of 2021 that the city recognized Roosters, which is a gay bar which was here for years, had an incident where there was a fire, and they're rebuilding with the encouragement of the city. And I wanted to make sure to mention that, just as an example of one of the things the city has done to support the LGBTQ plus community, they're helping roosters get reestablished. And that is so important, a sense of history in our community.
Yeah, and I think that's something that is becoming a more vital component, not only here in West Palm Beach, but in other communities, where now there's a track record, there's a history, and we're celebrating that history. We're celebrating the milestones and the victories that were part of this. And I think that what you're describing happening here in West Palm Beach is indicative of that kind of looking back and feeling accomplishment historically.
Yeah, I mean, it's scary to say at 59 that I'm looking back and that there's history behind me, but it's true. I remember when I was 17, what a frightened and lost kid I was in the LGBTQ plus community, and it's because of cities like West Palm Beach and leaders, leaders on the city commission, leaders in the mayor's role. It's because of people like that who have a positive influence and recognize our community, that folks feel safe and want to come here and visit and move here and spend time here.
As liaison, what sort of feedback, what sort of questions do you get?
I get everything from, hey, would gay and trans folks be interested in this kind of insurance, which I pass on to HR. But I also get a lot of questions from the mayor's office on, what do you think about this bill? Because I'm an attorney. What do you think about this bill? How is it going to affect the community? How will we enforce it? And also, will you please reach out to your community and help us organize and help us find out what the community thinks about the various issues which are presented to us as a city.
You mentioned Pride on the Block earlier. Tell me a little bit more about that.
So Pride on the Block is a great event. As I mentioned, it is the organization Transpire, which is a group which has sober homes here in the city, has a fundraiser every year. It's Compass, which is a gay organization which is headquartered in Lake Worth Beach, has the official Pride celebration in March of every year. But Transpire, which is located in West Palm Beach, has Pride on the Block every year. And they have that in the city of West Palm Beach, and they are tentatively planning on doing it for June, and it would be in the 500 block between Quadrille and Rosemary. But they're also considering moving it to October and maybe having another type of fundraiser in June. So we're very excited to work with them. It's always a great event. It was a great event last year. We had people come from all over the country, and we want to help them recreate this year and help and support that fabulous organization, which is actually housed right in our downtown West Palm Beach.
If you talk to anyone who's involved in the tourist industry, they'll often tell you that the LGBTQ plus community is an important part of the folks who come to visit here in West Palm Beach. What message would you send to folks who are thinking about coming to South Florida or trying to decide about, do I go to Lauderdale or do I go to West Palm? What kind of message would you send them about our city?
Well, it's been a tough 3 or 4 years for the LGBTQ plus community here in Florida. And I've heard many of my friends who don't live in Florida not have a lot of good things to say about Florida, and I understand that. However, I will say that what you can do to support your community in Florida is to come visit us and to show who you are. Come visit West Palm Beach. Show your loyalty to communities that are going to show their loyalty to you. West Palm Beach has got to be one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. I'm a little prejudiced, I guess, because I'm a Florida native, but it really is a beautiful community. And it's such great fun to be here, and you will be appreciated. We want you to come visit and I don't know, maybe you'll even move here. Who knows?
Speaking about moving here, obviously, we have an opportunity to talk to our residents about this. What message do you have, folks who are already here? What would you tell them?
Well, there's so many great things going on here. I live in the neighborhood of Northwood Hills, which, as I said, is sort of our burgeoning neighborhood. And I know that the city of West Palm Beach has a rainbow pride rainbow walk in Northwood, and we're actually going to be making that a permanent installation this year. We're going to be replacing the bricks there, and look to your local government as a source of support, and please utilize everything that we have as a city for you to use as a resource, whether you're straight, gay. I mean, it's such a wonderful place to live and to be and to visit. Truly, it's we would love to have you come hang out with us here in West Palm Beach, or move here and give yourself a raise. We have no income tax here. If you're getting ready, if you're getting older and you're like me and getting ready to retire, move here. You give yourself a raise.
There you go. I mean, you hit all the buttons. All the check marks are marked on that one. Well done. Well done. Once again, you mentioned earlier how folks can get in touch with you as the city liaison. Let's go over that again.
Sure. My email is M as in Melissa Anderson, so it's Manderson at WPB.org, and my phone number, my cell phone, is 561-310-9261.
Melissa Anderson, thank you so much for everything you do for the city of West Palm Beach.
Thank you.
And thank you at home for listening to this podcast, direct from City Hall in West Palm Beach, Florida. We hope you enjoyed our conversation today, and if you did, please subscribe and tell your friends that you know we're here. We also want to hear from you. Let us know what topics you'd like to hear more about. Drop us a note at podcast@WPB.org. The City Center Podcast is a production of the City of West Palm Beach Communications Department. I'm Jerry Marcello. We'll see you next time.